Hello, people. I welcome you to CAS and I bring you greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I am Mark Martins, uh, Bible teacher, writer, author, and societal development advocate. If you remember in our last episode, we tried to get some basic understanding of Christianity. We looked at what Christianity means and how we need to view it. If you remember, I made it clear. I propose 6 different ways by which we need to view Christianity in order to have a good understanding of what Christianity means. Today, I'd like us to look at the role of Christianity in the society. Does Christianity have any role to play in the human society? You see, I hear a lot of arguments and debates from atheists, from Muslims, and making a point to the effect that Christianity has caused more harm to the human society than any God. In fact, someone like Richard Dawkins would tell you that Christianity doesn't have any place and doesn't have any positive contribution to make to humanity. One of our Nigerian professors, Wole Soyinka, believes that Christianity is a curse to human society. Though not just Christianity, he believes generally religion is a curse to the human society. Karl Marx is popularly credited with the statement that religion is the opiate of the masses. If so, that includes Christianity, because in our definition we looked at one of the views of Christianity as a religion. But is it true that Christianity is a problem to society? Is it true that Christianity causes harm to the human society? Is it true that humanity will be better off without Christianity? I put it across to you that it's not true. We really don't have time to go through the history. If we were to go through history, you would see in many ways at different times and different places where Christianity has contributed a lot to the development of society and to the well-being of humanity itself. Some of the scientific discoveries that we have today and scientific inventions that we have today were brought about by Christians who are engaged in science and scientific activities. And then some of the political systems and theories and thoughts that we have today and we practice today were built upon certain theologies that were developed by Christians. You see, I dare say that the entirety of the Western society is built upon Judeo-Christian tradition. If it's so, and look at how developed the Western world is, Europe, America, look at how developed they are. I put it across to you that at the roots, the foundations of their development, you find the Judeo-Christian tradition at the foundation of their development. So I strongly believe that Christianity has a great role, an important role, a pivotal role to play in the human society, and more specifically in Nigeria. So, how do we know the role of Christianity? We talk about the role of Christianity. You may be thinking of many things, but I want to put to you that it is just one thing. How do we know about that? We need to understand that Christianity itself, as a faith, as a religion, as a system, as a practice, traces its roots to Genesis 1. Yes. And in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 to verse 28, we see how the role of Christianity in the society is being defined, is put forth by God himself. Verse 26, it is God declaring a manifesto. He said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. and that man would have control over everything that God has created. He would rule over all everything that God has created. He would have dominion over everything that God created. And then verse 27 tells us that God created human beings in his image and after his likeness. And then verse 28 tells us that God had already created human beings. Then what he declared as manifesto in verse 26, he turned it into a commandment. He commanded the first human beings to rule, to multiply, to have dominion. Having dominion doesn't mean being dictatorial or despotic upon God's creation or upon other human beings. No, it simply means taking proper care. That's what it means to have dominion over an environment, over something. It means to take proper care of that thing. Take proper care. That is why the word multiply is involved there. When things are taken care of properly, what happens is that they multiply. Now, from these verses, we can understand that the role of Christianity in the human society is to provide leadership. That's simple. It's to provide leadership, because to have dominion means it's talking about providing leadership. To multiply is still talking about providing leadership. To rule is talking about providing leadership. It's simply about making influencing decisions, influencing policies, influencing practices, influencing ideas, influencing ideologies, influencing policies, influencing affairs, government, everything influencing. And you see, this leadership that Christianity is meant to provide to humanity is in 5 spheres of human operations. It's in 5 areas. First, a spiritual area. Second, the political area. Third, the economic area. Fourth, the cultural area of human life. And then fifth, the ecological area of human life. So, in simple terms, the role of Christianity is to provide leadership to the society in spirituality, in politics, in economy, in culture, and ecology. When we talk about spirituality, Christianity is expected to provide leadership. Of course, all religions, in fact, all human beings are spiritual beings, and they have their own ways of practicing spirituality. But Christian spirituality sets the right understanding and provide the right direction on what it truly means to be spiritual. The same thing, politics. Everybody, every system, every religion practices politics. But the way Christians practice politics should provide direction to others on how politics should be practiced. The same thing with economy, and culture, and ecology. So I put it to you again. The role of Christianity in the society, in humanity, or to humanity, is to provide leadership in these 5 areas. And by God's grace, we'll be looking at these things together. Thank you very much for following. Remain blessed. And I implore you to subscribe to our channel. See you in our next episode.